Hello and welcome to today's presentation prepared for PA Hallowed Grounds. My name is Ava Kidd, and on behalf of my team at Echo Effect Media, I would like to introduce Cheryl Pon, Skylar Garcia, and Sophia Sierri. We will be discussing our campaign to preserve African American cemeteries in Blair County from its conception to evaluation. In Pennsylvania, 17% of cemeteries are African American as a result of segregation throughout history. As those laid to rest in these cemeteries faced discrimination, racism, and division in both life and death, we at Echo Effect Media find it unjust for these cemeteries to remain in consistent states of disrepair. In Blair County, 3 African American cemeteries remain and are in desperate need of upkeep. The locations are Union AME, Fairview, and Eastern Lights Cemetery. With this in mind, our team has constructed a campaign to drive volunteers to clean these locations and eventually form a consistent group of people to manage them.
The audiences for our campaign are generally diverse and broad. First of all, broader public interest and those who interested in volunteering can drive them to support our campaign. Local residents, particularly those in Altoona, Hollidaysburg, and Claysburg, where are the location of the 3 main African American cemeteries we focused on in our campaign, is a primary audience. This also includes the African American communities directly connected to these cemeteries. These cemeteries are significant in preserving the history and cultural heritage of African Americans, offering a sense of identity and belongings. Additionally, relatives of those buried in these cemeteries are also the key audience, as they have a personal connection to the sites. Local government officials can also be involved, especially if there are public interest or funding aspects related to the preservation project. Moving on to our primary research, we interviewed Harriet Gaston, who is the chair of community organization that documents African American history in central Pennsylvania. We learned about some history of African American in Claysburg and a brief history on the cemetery. She also sent us the information packages on the 3 cemeteries in Blair County. When we were visiting the Fairview Cemetery, we surprisingly talked to one local neighbor, Tia, who lived right next to the Fairview more than 20 years. She said something about the Fairview that it is originally located on the other side of the street, but moved to this place few years ago. We also learned a brief history of the African American community in that area. As for the secondary research, the code that I indicated in the slide is in the front page of PA Hallowed Ground website. We delved deep into the website. It has a lot of information on the cemeteries broadly located in Pennsylvania and resources about the history of cemeteries and Pennsylvania in general. We also found an article written by blog of the Pennsylvania State History Preservation Office on caring for African American cemeteries with PA Hallowed Ground, which they aim to create a historic context for these sites. News release from WPSU also talked about the preservation work of the cemeteries in Altoona. Besides articles and blogs, we also found some documents on the historical context. History of Black Soldiers, written by Central County Historical Society, highlights the experiences of Black soldiers from Central County during the Civil War. Additionally, thanks to our Professor Nichols, who kindly sent this document, Placeburg PA History by Rich Allison, to us. The document provides a detailed history of Claysburg and also mentioned that the town experienced significant population growth due to the establishment of railroad and silica brick plants. Interestingly, one of the deceased, William Nesbitt, who buried in the Union AME Cemetery, was an African American civic leader in Altoona and played a crucial role in the Underground Railroad. Overall, these primary and secondary research helped us better understand our audience and offered a comprehensive information that we need to know for our campaign. So we are able to craft tailored messages that specifically target our audience.
Some key features of our situational analysis for the PA Hallowed Grounds campaign was that the PA Hallowed Grounds was founded to preserve and honor African American cemeteries and the burial sites of the United States colored troops in Pennsylvania. The PA Hallowed Grounds is devoted to educating the community on African American cemeteries like Eastern Lights, Fairview Colored, and the Union AME cemeteries, which require extensive care through volunteers, fundraising efforts, and awareness to complete the restoration that these cemeteries need.
For our SWOT analysis, we noticed that our strengths were the significant population size of Blair County, the proximity to Center County and Pittsburgh, as well as the passion and dedication that we received from PA Hallowed Grounds. For our weaknesses, the demographic of Blair County, the fact that PA Hallowed Grounds is not a nonprofit, and that there's no organized board for PA Hallowed Ground was a weakness that we did encounter. For our opportunities, there has been a trend on TikTok where cemetery cleanups and history lessons on each burial are trending. So if our generation can engage in that kind of content, then our message should really resonate with them. We also mentioned earlier the proximity of Blair County to Center County and Pittsburgh are also very beneficial for us and were opportunities that we wanted to piggyback off of. When it came to threats, after researching the demographic of Blair County, we worried that without a diverse range of cultures and backgrounds, that our message may struggle to resonate with a large part of the population.
A focus of this is nearly X% of the Blair County community is unaware of the significance and the existence of African American cemeteries within their county, resulting in a lack of preservation and limited awareness of the cultural history, which affects the PA Hallowed Grounds efforts to raise awareness and maintain fundraising and volunteers for these cemeteries.
For our goals and objectives, short term, we said to by July 20th, 2024, have at least 10 volunteers per cemetery and have concluded one cleanup day. Long term, to by July 20th, 2025, have created and successfully implemented monthly cleanup days with our volunteer groups. For our messages, we really wanted to articulate the fact that these aren't just cemeteries, but they're African American cemeteries. When we visited Blair County, we passed other cemeteries that weren't segregated and were much better kept. The cemeteries that we're working with are solely African American cemeteries, with individuals from the USCT buried, individuals that were crucial during the Underground Railroad, and ones who made great contributions to Blair County and they go overlooked. So it was important that in every message that we gave out, that every one of these points were received by our audience so they could be as passionate and as driven about our campaign as we are.
For our culturally relevant strategies, we find that African American audiences will be most moved by the overall initiative of preserving these neglected burial sites. And this upcoming July, the annual African American Heritage Festival in Altoona will drive people within our intended demographic to the area. Our team will set up a table with Black History trivia games, hand out brochures, and run a cleanup day sign up for the 3 African American cemeteries.
Some of the following are tactics that we have created to promote our campaign. One of them being a social media campaign, Share Your Story, which invites users to post stories of loved ones who have passed and honor their legacy, as well as hashtag Every Dash Tells a Story, which invites users to post on the Blair County Facebook to honor the legacies of those buried in these featured cemeteries and post stories and discoveries that they have while visiting them. And through the social media aspect, we would post resources and links for educational resources to help the community get more involved in this project, as well as the collaboration with the African American Heritage Festival. And we created this flyer to promote our attendance and booth at this festival which the goal is to recruit fundraisers, volunteers, and connect with the community in person, as well as the creation of 3 billboards, which all feature culturally relevant messages for the targeted audience and to promote the need of the care for these cemeteries. And finally, another tactic was the creation of the Preserving Black Cemeteries Blair County site, which features 3 links for the 3 cemeteries we have focused on throughout the campaign, as well as ways for users to get involved and to connect with us and learn more about the history behind each of the 3 cemeteries.
Conclusion, we will evaluate its success using the following methods. 1, we have noted all ways in which we have prepared for this campaign, so in reviewing the success of each aspect, we will know what could have been done differently. 2, we will monitor the implementation of our social media campaign through analytics and determine what is driving and/or limiting our engagement. And 3, in understanding the impact made by the messages, we will log those who sign up to volunteer via a QR code at our festival booth. Hallowed Grounds, thank you for your time, and we look forward to working with you.